Big news came out this evening, and it's the news we've all been anticipating for quite some time. Snowflake has finally filed with the SEC for its IPO. I just wanted to put together a quick video to update the community, because as you know, I already put out this week's edition of IPO This Week, and of course, this news didn't come out until after I put that video together. That's just the way it is with IPOs. They keep me on my toes. But I do want to thank you for tuning in twice to the channel in under 24 hours. And in case you're wondering, yes, I did a wardrobe change just for this video. Anyway, as we get closer to the actual IPO, I'll definitely put out a much more comprehensive video, but for today, let's just take a quick look at some of the highlights of the filing. But before we do, it has crossed my mind that some of you may not have heard of Snowflake, so if you haven't, it's a company that has been around for 8 years and is one of the leaders in cloud data warehousing. Its technology allows companies to store and manage data in the cloud, which we know has been a huge and important growth area for its big-time competitors, Microsoft and Amazon. Tech investors have eagerly awaited news of the company filing its IPO papers since February, and today's news tells us that they finally did. So what are some of the highlights in the filing? Snowflake says it has 3,117 customers as of July 31st of this year, including 7 of the Fortune 10 and 146 of the Fortune 500 companies. The company is reporting significant growth in recent years. For the fiscal years ended January 31st for both 2019 and 2020, the revenue grew from $96.7 million in 2019 to $264.7 million in 2020, representing year-over-year growth of 174%. Not too shabby. And for the 6 months ended July 31st for both 2019 and 2020, revenue grew from $104 million to $242 million, representing year-over-year growth of 133%. And gross margins are continuing to improve as well. Again, for the fiscal years ended January 31st, 2019 and 2020, the gross margin improved from about 46% to 56%. And then for the 6 months ended July 31st for both 2019 and 2020, the gross margin grew from 49% to almost 62%. Again, not too shabby. Now keep in mind that the company is still not profitable with a net loss of $178 million from the fiscal year ended January 31st, 2019, ballooning up to $348.5 million for the fiscal year ended January 31st, 2020. However, when looking at the past 2 quarters, we do see that they are beginning to burn less cash, and that is something they want us to be aware of as we approach the initial public offering. But there is no question that they are looking at the IPO as an opportunity to obtain more capital so that they can continue growing while still being unprofitable. From the filing, Snowflake states that they plan to use the net proceeds of the IPO for general corporate purposes, including working capital, operating expenses, and capital expenditures. The company intends to list on the New York Stock Exchange under the ticker SNOW, an easy one to remember. I'm interested in knowing if you plan to invest in Snowflake or not. Let us know in the comments. Snowflake said it plans to raise $100 million in the filing, a figure which is typically considered a placeholder and will almost definitely be updated in later filings. I will continue to monitor the amended filings as they are released. And as the IPO becomes imminent, I'll put out a much more detailed video on the company, so stay tuned for that one by making sure you both subscribe to the channel and have that notification bell turned on. And if you haven't seen this week's IPO This Week episode that I released earlier today, definitely check it out to see what companies and SPACs are going public this week and get some background information on all of them. I also shared in that video something I'll repeat here. In celebration of the community growing to over 1,000 subscribers, we are going to have our first live stream this Thursday, August 27th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. I have no idea how this is going to go, but I'm always open to trying something new, and I'm looking forward to communicating with you in real time in what should be a more personal way. So this last full week of August has turned busy, but that's fine by me. As I call it wraps on a long day, please remember to like this video. It's so important in helping to continue to grow the channel. And with that, I hope to check in with you live on Thursday. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, have a great day.